nowhere close to what they did last week. They had 8 different players score in their last game.
Avast. Wow.
It's 11:08 p.m. at this hour.
And that's Terrell's first carry.
Welcome back to Greenville, North Carolina. Whoa!
Fly out of the backfield. Terrell back in his home state of Wilmington, North Carolina.
How about that? Rip off a 30-yarder. Nice blocking up front. Nice finish at the end of that run. Guys are out there still working hard in a game that's long since been out of hand for them.
Just go down the East Coast a couple of hours to Wilmington at the beach from here in Greenville, where Terrell is from. Wiseman will throw short. And completion to Wyatt Sullivan for a few, the big sophomore tight end. Florida Atlantic fall to 2-7. This broadcast has been dominated by the word Owls tonight. Well, the Florida Atlantic Owls play the Temple Owls next week. We're hosting Charlotte, finishing the season against the Golden Hurricane of Tulsa.
And now letting him go on the
Second and 8,
table.
squeeze one in there. First down ball to Dominique
Right.
Henry.
I never.
Lucky to hang on to that one, Henry. Great concentration. It was a near pick going the other direction. Instead, just enough zip on that ball from Weissman to get it all the way there into Henry.
This?
Wiseman
It's
underneath to
alright.
Tucker. He'll get a couple. Coach Herman was telling us about not only taking this job, and anytime you take a new job, you have to a degree, start a program over. But also, it should be mentioned that Florida Atlantic left Conference USA to come to the American Conference. And no disrespect meant whatsoever to the Conference USA. The American Conference has been the best Group of 5 conference the last few years. And Conference USA, you could argue, could be at the bottom of those rankings. And as that ball is thrown into heavy traffic, Terrell unable to make the grab. So that requires a big commitment too when you're going to play tougher competition in conference on a weekly basis.
It's a more than fair observation. You know, you already had a challenge in your previous conference, much less making that jump up. Rebuilding a program, changing the culture as best you possibly can, while also transitioning to a more competitive conference.
On 3rd and 8, Wiseman able to get it off. He's been running all night, and he'll run this time for a first down.
And if you're on the FAU sidelines, right, you're kind of holding your breath as you see a little bit of extracurricular there at the end of the play. Lots of whistles. Because the last thing you want is to have yet another quarterback go down. As mentioned earlier, Fancher, the starting quarterback for FAU, left the game with a broken shoulder, was the report.
Wiseman has more completions, more attempts, and more rushing yards, and more passing yards than he had all season in this game alone tonight. Drifts back, incomplete to Terrell. There's the starting quarterback, Cam Fancher, who injured his shoulder early in the game. Fancher 4 of 6 passing. One in the stadium last year playing for Marshall. Certainly a painful night for him and for his teammates. Sands leaves the backfield. Wiseman eludes the pressure and throws. Looks like George Johnson made that catch. Julian Davis was all over Wiseman in the backfield, and Wiseman was able to escape.
Wiseman, he continues to impress. You go back to the interception, sure, but the way that he has battled in this game, out there directing traffic, not an easy throw to make. And they're out there kind of sandlotting it, trying to extend this drive, and successfully does so.
Blitz. Wiseman just throws it out of the end zone. No receiver was in that area.
Just stared down the barrel that time. Knew he was going to get grilled and just burned that ball wisely. Versus taking the negative yardage play. And you see Wiseman, once again, he left the game for a handful of snaps and fought his way back out onto the field in a very lopsided game, still trying to find a way to get his team in the end zone.
He is not going to be moving quickly tomorrow morning. On the roll, incomplete, throwing behind Tucker. More Pirate references for interim coach Blake Harrell in East Carolina. Look at what this guy has done as the head coach. 105 points scored, over 1,000 total yards gained. He's a defensive-minded guy, by the way. He's been a defensive coordinator here. Still the defensive coordinator the rest of the season, along with being the interim head coach. But he's made it clear. Let it rip the rest of the way.
Yeah. I don't know if he's burned the boats. He's definitely burned the birds past 2 games.
See what you did there.
Yeah.
49-7. Halloween's not over.
Wow.